Alright guys, so I told you I was going to do a fascia video, so I pulled the fascia off of my shed right here. And we're going to make this fascia that we have here, right over here. This actual side fascia is called the rake. And when it's on the bottom like this, right, so if I rotate around, or actually you can see it right here, when it's on the bottom of my rafters, it's called the actual fascia, but this right here going up along the side is the rake. So the first thing you need to do is you need to make a 2x6 because that's all it is, right? So you're going to make a 2x6. So I'm just going to do 8 feet, comma, 1.5 inches, right? So type that in, just like you can see down here at the bottom. Now, mine went long way, so I can either make my 2x6 and rotate it, or I can just delete that piece. I can draw out again this way, right? Making sure it's going on the blue axis, so you see how it's blue. And reverse my measurements 1.5 inches first, comma 8 feet, and now it's the right direction that I want to be on my rake right here. Okay, so I'm going to get my push-pull tool now. Push, pull it up 5.5 inches, right? So once you have that, make sure you turn it into a group. Okay, triple click it, make it into a group. Now it'll stay together. So I'm going to get my movement tool. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to tap my up arrow, right? I'm going to click on it, tap my up arrow, and bring it straight up, okay? To about right there. I think that looks about level. I mean, I can rotate my screen and see, okay? I'm going to zoom in right here. I'm going to get my rotating. I'm going to rotate. I'm going to click right here on the corner. I want it to be red, going along with the red axis. Click right here. Drag out straight on the line. Click again. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to type in 35 degrees. Once I bring it up, just start typing 35 degrees and it will reset itself. Now it's to the same pitch that we made the roof, right? So I can get my movement tool, right? Go over here, get my movement, or you can just press M. And I can go over here and I can move it next to it. So I'm going to rotate my view so I can get a better view of it, right? And I'm going to move. Oh, I need to select it first. Now I get my movement tool, pressing M, and I'm going to move it over there. Okay? So move it to there. Maybe bring it down a little bit. Move it sideways. And again, I just keep pressing my arrow, so if you notice it has the red line right there, it's locking it onto that red axis line. Okay? Now I'm a lot closer to where it is, and I can just bring it closer to that point, right? Rotate my view so I can see it a little bit better. Now you can see how far off I actually am. So bring it over here by pressing my left arrow going along the axis line. Bring it down by pressing my up arrow. That keeps me on the blue up and down axis line. Press my right arrow and it keeps me on the red axis line, right? So we can see where I'm at. I can just bring it straight up to where I need it to be. Right, now that I'm pretty close, I can zoom in. Okay, and I can get it a little bit closer. Now I have my other fascia or rake fascia right there, right? So I'm gonna line it up with that, but I just want to nail it to this ridge beam, right? So I just have nails going through this rake fascia going into my ridge beam. So I'm gonna scoot it over, press my arrow so I can keep it in line, right? Put it right there. I'm gonna bring it up to where it intersects with that other piece of fascia on the rake. Right there. Now I have it lined up. Now if you didn't have this other piece there, you would just line it up next to this piece right here. Right? I'm going to rotate around and show you something as well. If you notice when I rotate around and I look where my ridge beam intersects with my fascia, okay, I actually want to bring it up a little bit because I want my rake fascia to just barely be where that corner is, right? So I'm going to click on this, tap my up arrow. I'm going to bring it up just a hair, just to about right there, just so that those 2 points are right next to each other. And the reason for that is because that's exactly what these ones do. Well, this one's actually a little short, right? So that's probably why that one's a little bit short when I look at it from another angle. But this comes right up to my ridge beam, and that's what I want. So now I can go around and I can cut that piece of fascia, right? Just like we cut the other pieces off when we were making our rafters. Okay, we're going to come over here, and you need to triple click into this, right? Now, here's the thing. I'm going to look for an angle to where I can see my other piece of fascia. You can see it right here. You can see that line right there. So, actually, that's not my fascia right there. That's actually my ridge vein. Nope, that's my fascia. It is. So I'm going to come over here, get that angle to where I can see it, and I'm going to click into my rake fascia until it's dotted. You see the dots, that means I can edit it. I'm going to get my line tool. I'm going to draw a line from that edge, right, on line where it says on line or on edge. Right? If you have an issue, just zoom in, see how it keeps wanting to put it there. I don't want it there. I want it to be right there. Okay, zoom out. Now I can't see my line anymore, so I'll rotate a little bit, keep it in line with that one. Okay, and where it goes red, on edge. Okay, now you see how this went white and this is dotted? That's exactly what I want. Now I'm going to get my push-pull tool, right? You can press P or you can come over here and press it. I'm going to click on this piece and I'm just going to get rid of it, right? Push it away. Now this piece looks like it's a little bit lower than my other fascia, but that's okay. Because if it is, I can still move it. That's not an issue at all, right? So you click on it, get your move tool, click the up arrow, and bring it up to where it's level, or just about. Okay, so there you have it. You put on the side piece of fascia. And when you accidentally click like that and you want to undo it, hit Control Z and it goes. So I'm going to go back to the bottom part, right? And I need to make my bottom piece of fascia. This is the rake fascia. I want my bottom fascia down here, right? And I'm going to make that, but let's put this other piece of fascia right here. So I'm going to click on the piece I just made because I don't want to have to do all that work again. Just click on this one, okay? Get my movement. Once I have my movement tool and I click on it, I'm going to tap the control button and I'm going to drag a little bit, right? Keep it in line. And then I'm just going to hit 11 feet, enter. And I'm going to move it over. Now it's moved it almost all the way over. Now I just click on this, tap my right arrow to keep it on my red axis and bring it over in line, right? Just like that. So I'll have those ones lined up. So I only had to make one piece. To make this other side right here, if you did that just now, and you want to make the other side, all you need to do is you have it selected, right? So let's select it, or actually not all the way into edit it, just select it so it's blue. You get your rotate, okay? Put it on the blue, but just put it on the ground like this, right? Have it blue, because you can come up here and select it, an edge, but when you're editing, it's a little bit more difficult. So all you do is you do this, okay? Or actually, I just skipped a step, so let's go back a little bit, okay? I'm going to click my pointer. I'm going to select it. I'm going to get my movement tool, and I'm going to make a copy. Tap Control real quick, make a copy, and move it out like that. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my rotating tool, because now I have that new piece, right? So I don't have to recopy and do that other side. I'm going to have it blue on the ground. You notice it's not going blue, so I need to re-grab that tool. I need to make sure it's blue. Click, drag in a straight line. You see how my line turns green? Now it's not. Now it's green. That's good to do because you can keep it in a straight line on the green axis, which is what I've built my shed on. Okay, take it around and rotate it. Right, once you click twice, you'll rotate it. Okay, get it back into that green line. Click again. Right, so there it is right there. Now it stayed completely level, so I just need to get my movement tool. Okay, click on it, and I want to stay on the green axis, so I'm going to tap my left arrow, bring it over. Okay, bring it to about right there. Tap my right axis, go on my right arrow, go over here, and I would adjust it and put it into place. But since I already have that one, I don't really need to, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this piece, right? And let's make our bottom piece of fascia. Let's see if we can get that done before the time runs out. This video will end at 15 minutes, right? So I want to make a long piece of fascia, or a bottom piece, And let's open it up. Right, so I'm going to draw out, I need a 2x6 for it. Let's draw it out. So I'm going to go 8 feet, comma, 1.5 inches. Right, grab my push-pull tool, click on it, pull it up, then tap 5.5 inches, enter. There you have it. Right, so now I just need to triple click it where it's all lights up and make it into a group. Now there's one more piece that you do need to do for this board, right? So let's come down to it, let's zoom in on it, and let's get my rotating tool. So let's rotate this, okay? Now we have it here. What we need to do is we need to click on this bottom part, click over to the other one, right? So it stays red right there. And I'm just going to tilt it like this, but really I'm going to tilt it down. I'm going to do 35, enter. Now it set it at a 35-degree angle because when I move it up, now it will fit perfectly onto my rafter ends, my rafter butts, just like this piece did right here. So get your movement tool and let's drag it over, right? Move it over to here. And you may have to move your screen, right? So let's drag our screen over, press H, drag it some more. Put it to about where you want it. And pull your screen up. Let's get rid of this piece that I have floating up here. Just delete that. Click on this. Let's do the other arrow. Bring it out over here. Right about there, maybe. Click it again. Tap my up arrow and bring it straight up on the blue axis. Now, this is where it's going to take a little bit of work for you. And it's not that easy, right? So here's what I would encourage you to do. The first thing I'd encourage you to do is to make this piece of fascia to where it's about level with your rafters, okay? So it's a little bit difficult, but you can do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to click into that piece of fascia. You're going to edit it. So you need to have it to where it's blue, the blue dots. Grab your push-pull, and let's bring this piece of fascia rake up to round about where it looks like my eaves are. You can also pull this over and it will tell you the outside point and it will correspond. So actually that's perfect right there. Now what you want to do now is get this. You're going to get this outside point right here. You're going to click on this. You're going to grab your move tool and you're going to bring it to here, right? So what you want to do is actually make it to where you can pull this out, okay? So I'm going to pull this down a little bit. And I'm going to move this out 1.5 inches because I know that's what my depth is. So I want to move this out so it'll cover the ends. And you'll understand what I'm saying when I say that. So click, pull out, and then tap 1.5 inches, enter. Now it's 1.5 inches longer. I'm going to click out of that, go over, grab my bottom piece of fascia right here, grab my move tool, and I'm going to move it, right? So wherever I click, I can actually tie it to a corresponding point. Now I got it lined up perfect right here, but you see how it's in a cross right there? And I want this rake fascia to have the butt end. That means the flat end, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on this. I'm going to tap my left or my right arrow, and I'm going to pull it over to where it's just lined up perfect. Awesome, just like that. Now, you may say, Mr. Brandt, your point's not right there, right? So just rotate over to this side, okay? You're going to click into your bottom piece of fascia. Oh, I didn't actually click into it to where it's dotted. Click to where it's dotted, right? Bring it all the way out to this piece right here. Then you need to click into this piece of fascia and pull it all the way up, right? Until you get it to about right there, right? You can also put it on here and it will tie it to the line, right? Then if you need to do any minor adjustments now, you can do that. You can click into this one again, pull it back just a little bit, however far you need it to be, right? You can rotate your view to double check it, zoom out of this building, and that's